and it's hard for him to sell his bills as a result of that.
And like bridging that gap. He did say he wished he'd called the IRA something else. He said the Inflation Reduction Act, I wish I hadn't called it that. It has less to do with reducing inflation than it does to do with dealing with providing alternatives that generate economic growth. Jeff, where is inflation as a political issue right now? Because it is coming down. And clearly when they named this last year, it was top of mind and they needed to seem like they were doing, something to attack it. It's what so many people were talking about.
It was named in part because of Joe Manchin.
Right.
I mean, to get his vote for it was named this. So when I saw that he said that last week in Salt Lake City, I thought, I wonder if anyone's having any second guessing about Bidenomics, like sort of branding the economy a year from now. Will that be a good idea?
Inflation cooling, but still not enough. Just to give you the numbers of how this is impacting everyday Americans, in the month of July, last month, Americans spent $709 more on the same goods and services as they did 2 years ago. So still feeling that those inflationary prices. A lot of that, though, because of the high cost of shelter or rent. As Arlette mentioned, a big thing that a lot of Americans wanted to see was a cap on insulin prices, especially under Medicare. So there's a $35 cap on insulin. We also have seen job creation already, 45,000 or so EV jobs created in the last 6 months and 170,000 jobs created across 44 states. And then in terms of household savings, potentially $1,800 in household savings if Americans decide to modernize their energy within their home. Obviously, that is an investment in itself. But, as you heard from the press secretary there, this is a long-term investment. And the White House saying that they are investing hundreds of millions of dollars in trying to create jobs, in trying to bring down the cost of everyday prices for Americans. But that's going to be over a decade, right? We're just in the beginning. That's a decades-long work. So Americans still really struggling to try to get a hold of these prices, which are still too high.